listening to NTParanormal After Dark. Nothing normal about it.
Hey everybody, what's up? So we figured out how to get our live stream running again, but if you'll notice, I'm using a different camera and all kinds of stuff, and we have some stuff set up over here because we have a very good impromptu show planned. I got Sarah with me. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
So, yeah, she just got here a minute ago. Kind of her plans changed it last minute. I was actually going to do a show all by myself, but she was already in the neighborhood, so she stopped by to help me out, and I think she's pretty happy she did. What do you think of the show idea?
It's interesting.
I like it. So, the show idea that we had for this episode is some good online friends that we just recently made at Unseen Paranormal made our group a very special present, which it's this lovely Ouija board you see before you with our logo on it. It's pretty cool. They made it out of acrylic, and I think she did custom colors and all that cool stuff, and it's got our logo on it and all that, but it's got all the, the yes, no, goodbye, numbers, letters, and then it's got this cool custom, how do you say it?
Planchet?
Planchet or planchette?
I don't know. I'm from Texas.
But it's got a badass spider on it, which I think is pretty cool. So we're going to try to contact the dead today, which we don't normally play with Ouija boards at all. So have you ever done a Ouija board before?
Yeah.
What was your experience with it? Anything happened?
No. I've done it a couple times, including, and my mom would be really mad at me for this, but at her house, the one I think's haunted.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What did you? So, could you even get it to move or anything like that?
Yeah, it moved, but it was real. It was the way where it's kind of like your hand subconsciously moving because it never spelled anything out. It never moved very far.
So it just was it slow or because to be honest, I do a lot of talking about Ouija boards. Mm-hmm. I've seen a bunch of people do them, and in the household I grew up in, my mom used to do them with her mom and grandmother and things like that. They used to do it. I have never ever. This is the first one I've ever touched.
Oh no, I've done it a couple times. Yeah,
I've never done it. I don't believe in it. I'm not really afraid of it. Or I used to kind of be a little bit leary of them just from growing up in that environment.
Superstitious about it, but I was never afraid of them. Exactly.
Well, yeah, same. But I felt they could be dangerous or something like that. But as I've gotten into the paranormal investigate, I don't think there's any difference really between that and trying to collect EVPs or using the SP7 or whatever. So I've kind of got over that part of me that would be afraid of it, and more on the side of the odometer effect and all that good stuff that goes with it. But I've never done it, and I figure if I'm going to keep bashing it, then I should probably do one. And I want to get one of the bigger ones, and I want to modify it. I want to drill holes in it and put little lights where the letters are so that they detect EMF around the letters, and it's got sensors and stuff on it to kind of see if it does anything. But what kinds of questions did you ask when you did it before?
Is there anything here that wants to talk to us? What's your name? And then we usually devolved into stupider questions.
Okay. So how do you predict this is going to go? Roughly the same?
Yeah.
Did you have candles out last time and all that?
One time we turned the lights out, we did the candles, all that.
Okay, so we set up candles because I read ahead on the instructions a little bit, but we looked up the directions on how to use a Ouija board, and I was totally not disappointed in the least bit. So what is a Ouija board? A Ouija board is a flat wooden surface which has letters from A to Z. Yeah, this one is acrylic, so you think it won't? You think that makes a difference?
I don't think it makes a difference.
Maybe the spirits can't communicate through modern polymers as well as wood.
Perhaps wood summons ghosts.
It has letters from A to Z, numbers 0 to 9, a sun and a moon symbol. Ours does not have a sun and a moon symbol. It does have an NTP paranormal symbol.
Way cooler.
movable indicator, or a planchette, or I'm going to go with planchetti because it sounds like
Planche.
machete. Okay. And it is used to supposedly answer questions that the user asks. In popular culture, all the rage in 1920s, these boards were considered to be a spiritual gateway used to contact the dead. However, the only evidence for this is the various accounts of users. Nothing has been scientifically proven. Decide for yourself if you're willing to try. So, step one is we have to decide for ourselves if we're willing to try. Are you willing to try?
I'm okay with it.
Are you willing to give your all, though? Because I feel like if we don't concentrate and believe, we have to believe, then it's not going to work.
So fake it till you make it?
So you have to believe that this is going to work.
Okay, well then you have to believe it's going to work.
I totally believe this is going to work. I totally
We don't even believe in ghosts, so what are we talking to?
It's a good question. So I
Kill me.
love the wiki pictures. In like last week I posted something up. It was like the wiki how pictures without the text that goes with it, and it was just it was the tastiest meme sauce I could think of. There was one where there's like a dog going after a guy, and he's just like cowering. And on somebody, I think it was Elena's thread I put on there, is like, "You did this, Ted. Where's my fucking money? Give me my money, Ted." And he's no. But there were so many good ones on here, and the
Family Guy reference. I can't do that noise right. No, that's your whip noise. The ba-dum. There you go.
Oh, drum roll. These WikiHow pictures did not disappoint. So part one, create the ambiance. Grab a few friends. Technically, Ouija can be played alone, so it can be a one-player game. But one of the main rules states that you can't play alone, so it's required to play with at least one other person. Especially if it's a dark and stormy night. I am in love with the directions for the Ouija board. 2 people is ideal. The more people you have, the more hectic it may get, loud, distracting, etc. And
we don't have a notebook to write down the answers.
And you may confuse the spirits, but we're recording it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So
y'all are gonna have to write it down for us.
Right. So you guys can y'all can ask, help us come up with questions or point some things out, like if the flames change, or if you guys see Sarah getting demonically possessed, and we're not noticing, then you guys can help us out. So that's going to be really cool.
No one would notice.
More than 2 is fine. Just make sure everyone stays calm and respectful. So we don't want to confuse the spirits, and we got to stay calm and respectful. Step 2 is really good. They have incense, candles, sage. So
have one of these things.
Right. So we just went with candles here, as you guys can see. Julie says no playing alone with yourself. Well,
technically,
it gets awkward when other people are in the room. That's what I'm going to go with. But we got 4 candles set up, and then once we actually start the session, we're going to turn out the light. And I believe we're going to play some Kenny G.
I think part of the logic is that it's giving something for the spirits to use energy-wise.
Right.
But all the electronics in here should.
So this is our first session. I don't think it'll be the last session. Like, this one was last minute because I got this in the mail today.
And I randomly showed up at your house.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna, I saw like the full size wooden board for like $12. I want to get one of those.
Well, I want to take one to Kyle.
Right, and I also want to get like an EMF detector on the table and like a geophone. Some of the other toys we play with, and get it like set around while we're playing with it.
We should do EVP while we do it too.
Right. Well, I mean, we have really good mics set up right now for this.
Stupid.
So, but we could set up. I could set up the third mic, and the ghost could be, our third guest.
Yeah, point a camera towards it instead of at me, because you only point the camera at me and never.
So, step 1 is create the ambiance. 2, set the mood. Oh, I'm scrolling on the wrong thing. Okay. Oh God, that is. I love it. That's brilliant. Oh, okay, hold on. I didn't set the mood before getting down to business, contacting the other side. You may want to get in the mood by dimming the lights, using candles, lighting incense, and burning sage. I thought sage got rid of whatever was in the room. Wouldn't that be counteractive?
I thought Elena said that wasn't a thing.
Lena says a lot of things I don't listen to.
Well,
She also says don't use a Ouija board.
I thought sage had you had to put intent behind it.
I don't know.
But
Maybe but it only gets rid of bad stuff. So maybe it's so that we don't get demons.
I don't know, but I'm allergic to incense and all my sages at my house, so.
Ouija can be all about timing. Sometimes the board is ultra responsive, and sometimes it seems asleep. It's best to try at night or in the wee hours of the morning.
Wake up, board.
Remove all distractions. There should be no loud music, noise from the television, or kids running around. A seance requires... Who said anything about seance?
This is a seance, bro.
That's against the rules. This is... Okay, so seance requires your undivided attention in order to be successful. Turn phones off, just like in a movie theater. Accepting a call in the middle of the conversation interrupts the progress and mood, and probably is really annoying.
The ghost is like, listen, bitch.
All right, I love this picture too. It's like, oh, okay, now we're sitting around. Grab a seat. The original instruction of the game says place the board on the knees of the two. Okay, we're not doing that.
That'd make it move. Yeah, okay.
But I have heard more body contact makes a better conduit. I guess that makes sense, but we're going to go with towel. And the reason I put a towel behind this is because it's made out of like acrylic. It's see-through, and my table's black, so when I put it on there, you can't see what we're doing. So I put down a white towel, because it's, I was setting the mood for it. Ha ha ha, no one cares. Okay.
Oh, was that a masturbation joke?
It was.
Oh.
Okay. The proper mindset. I told you that was going to come up.
Okay.
Are you in the proper mindset?
I can be.
You don't seem excited about this at all. You seem like, this is just something that's going to happen. Okay. I didn't even read these instructions, but I love the pictures. So be polite if you're speaking to a highly communicative spirit. Talk to it. Be friendly. This will encourage him or her to cooperate with you.
Or it.
You may not get the answers you want. This is not the spirit or the board's fault. Getting angry or violent will just ruin the vibe of the board and the room.
It said I'm not going to get rich, so I smashed the board. What?
I didn't want cheese on this burger. Start simply. It's best not to bombard your spirit with questions. First question should have easy, short answers. How many spirits are in the room? Are you a good spirit? What is your name? Okay.
I'm more interested in evil spirit.
What the F? What is going on in this picture? Right.
He thinks he's talking to death.
Let's just stop here for a minute. What is this? What is this very...
He's confused between sexy ghost and death ghost.
I love sexy ghost because it's not quite a human shape. It's still just like a sheet, but it's very obviously got a bust. That's pretty awesome. But at the same time, he's shouting "die" at it. He's like death will come. Be careful what you wish. Oh, shizzle. Now they should really put the warnings first. Right?
It's a Ouija board. I'm not scared.
Okay. I did look at the when I was looking at that other Ouija board, I was looking at the what it said the age on it was. It's 8 and up. So apparently 8 years old is the the proper age
1 year short of being able to summon demons.
Yeah. The last thing you want to do is stay up all night contemplating your imminent death. If you don't want to know the answer to a question, don't ask it. But if you do choose to ask about your future, take note that it will be jokingly. Just like us mortal spirits can't see the future. They're messing with you if they tell you your sister is going to die in a week.
How does WikiHow know that ghosts don't see the future?
They can't even prove that you're talking to a ghost in the first place. So how the hell do they know what ghosts think?
Maybe it's a psychic ghost.
Oh, that's a good question. If you were psychic when you were alive, are you psychic when you're dead? Why can't ghosts see the future?
I'm pretty sure you're just dead when you're dead. Just throw that out there.
Don't ask silly or stupid questions. What did Billy tell his sister about me is not something your spirit may not want to wait.
Well, then they probably shouldn't make the age 8 and up.
Right. Yeah, it's like the typical questions are going to be like, say fart. Or
Yeah. Did Jesse like me?
is Caitlin a doo-doo head?
Yeah, that's
We should ask those questions and then work our way up to more mature things. Don't ask for physical signs. That's just
that's
asking
literally what you're doing. You're asking for physical signs.
Well, it says that's asking for trouble. What's more, those you're communicating with may not be able to follow up. It's best to keep it contained within the Ouija. However, some spirits are okay with asking for proof. It varies. That is the vaguest set of instructions. Don't ask for proof.
But maybe ask for proof.
But maybe ask for proof. Some ghosts are cool with it. Don't believe everything the board tells you. If it says you're going to die in the next 10 minutes, don't just go running in front of buses. That's you fulfilling the prophecy. It really sounds like they're trying to cover their own ass.
It sounds like they're talking to idiots, which is probably their user base.
Playing the game. It is a fucking game.
Of course it is. It's sold in the game section.
It's a game. Anyone that says it's not a game it's a game. Pick a medium. Designate one person to ask all the questions. This keeps things simple and prevents the ones on the other side from getting confused. However, all players should have a say in the questions. Take turns thinking up questions, but have the medium address them to the board. Which one of us is going to be the medium?
You.
Did you just cholo nod at me?
It's the Mafia chin point.
I say, do the cholo nod again. Yeah, so I'm the medium.
I do all the EVPs. You take a round.
Oh my god. Let's see, what else do we got? Place your fingers on the planchette. It should be resting on the G spot on the board to start. Oh, G space on the board. Okay, so where's G? Okay, so I guess when we start, I'll just have my finger like that, or are we going to do it like this?
And like both fingers or just one?
The way it is in the picture here, okay, is everyone's just got one finger on it.
This isn't going to work at all.
What? We'll just do that. Just like that.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Right. That looks right to me. Okay?
Where should the pointy end point?
I don't think it matters as long as the letters end up in the circle, right?
Okay.
Um
Or does the pointy end point at the letters?
No, that's what the circle's for.
Okay.
It ends up in the reticle. Rest your fingers on it firmly, but without much force. That if you hold it too stiffly, it won't move as easily. You could be literally describing anything in the world. I think we'll just do that. Just like that. Okay. Develop an opening ritual. This could be anything, a prayer, welcome, or even trinkets scattered around you. Have the medium greet the spirits, affirm that only positive energy is welcome.
No. Well, dark
energy
is welcome.
Yeah, I'm totally okay with anything. Line the board with jewels and other relics.
Do you have any crystals, Brad?
If you're seeking to talk to a deceased relative, have something of theirs nearby. Okay, so sounds to me like I need to find some relics.
Don't get action figures.
Heath Ledger's dead.
Are you trying to summon Heath Ledger?
Yes, I want Heath Ledger. I want him to tell me how he got those scars. No?
Do whatever you want, bro. You're the medium.
Okay. We need to summon. I don't know if I'm going to do the relics thing, but ask a question. Okay, what is this? Concentrate. Okay. Watch it move. Sometimes this happens quickly. Sometimes it happens slowly. Once in a while, it doesn't happen at all. But everyone is focused and attentive. The planchette should slowly take off. Make sure no player is dominating the planchette. If they are, Clearly the reason it's moving. They shouldn't be playing the game. Each player should have the same amount of weight distributed on the point. So in other words, make sure no one's cheating.
Yeah, don't F around. Okay, got it.
Okay, and 7, close the board. Oh yeah, I
You gotta say goodbye.
Yeah, we gotta.
Although I think we shouldn't because your house should end upon it.
No, we'll
if
definitely.
it's not already.
If the planchette doesn't move to goodbye, then you must move it to goodbye yourself. Not doing this. We'll leave the portal. Wiki comments. Ouija's about contacting spirits, so it doesn't matter when you use it. As long as things are safe, you can use it whenever. How do I know when I should stop playing because I have either annoyed the spirit or contacted a bad one?
When it throws the planchette at your face.
You should be polite. I like the WikiHow contributor. You should be polite at all times to avoid the problem in the first place. If you've annoyed the spirit, your replies might be short, curt, or rude. If you've reached a bad spirit, it might be ill-tempered or deceitful. You should also trust your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, politely end the session and move the planchette to goodbye. Are dogs allowed while using the spirit board?
Well, what if one of the cats was in here hanging? I mean, I think they're asking if you should boot the animals out of the room.
Dogs are allowed during sessions, yes. However, it's said that dogs can be more sensitive.
Oh, we should get a cat. They're half in, half out. Go put Ozzy on the board.
He is a black cat.
He's your familiar. Go get him.
How do I contact the same spirit if I like him? I would say get its phone number, right?
It's 867-5309.
867 or 976 evil. I like 976
I've
evil.
never seen that movie.
You've never seen 976 evil?
Nope.
Oh God, we need to go back. We need to watch that.
Do you remember the Are You Afraid of the Dark with the phone police?
No.
This kid's making crank calls and the phone police come and get him.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see. What if 21 comes again and again? Oh, somebody's had a particular thing. This can be a reference to coming of age, especially in older times, but also now. Vague answer. It was just, to sound smart. Can I choose which spirit I'm going to talk to?
I mean, I've got a dead grandpa, but I'm sure he would be pissed if I asked to contact him.
Can a Ouija board be used in other languages? Yes, and
Harder.
I've actually seen them in other languages too. What if the spirit doesn't leave? Can I actually talk with ghosts using a Ouija board?
If the spirit doesn't leave, you have a new pet. Set out a bowl of cat food.
I like the very last question on the page. Like they haven't read everything up to this point. Can I actually talk with ghosts using a Ouija board?
No.
If the answer is anything besides see section 1, I'm going to be upset. And it's, yes, you can speak to the ghost, but the ghost can only communicate back through the board. You should be careful when using the Ouija board. Ghosts and spirits can be just as deceitful as people.
Whoever wrote this is a jackass.
Whoever wrote this is a goddamn genius.
This is so ridiculous.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. We're going to
Do stupid stuff. Welcome to NTParanormal.
All right, so everybody that is just now joining us, we have set the mood. We have read all the instructions for the Ouija board just to make sure we know what we're doing. And now
The idiocy begins.
yeah, so we're going to give you guys a close-up view of our new Ouija board, which is so graciously provided to us by Unseen Paranormal. They were super cool.
It is pretty.
Oh, yeah, this is totally going out on our table when we go to the
Yeah.
cons and stuff now. It's like this probably won't be our main Ouija board for experiments or whatever. I mean, because it's
Too nice. And I don't want to take this out into the freaking woods and destroy it.
Right, yeah, so we'll get a cheaper one for that. And plus, it'll be a little bit bigger. It'll show up on camera and stuff like that better. But this will be great for, showing off.
Yeah.
So I really like it. So I'm going to move my mic real quick, and I'm going to turn out.
You gonna deep throat the mic?
Yeah.
I know that's how you do it.
I also have to do this in a fashion so that I don't set our equipment on fire.
If you do, it was the ghost. The ghost did it. We pissed off the ghost.
Okay.
After the ghost experience in your house the other day, I'm not so sure about this.
Oh yeah. We should tell them about that.
So I'm laying in the bed, and admittedly, I have sleep paralysis, and I have a history of seizures. So I'm laying in the bed, but the thing is, I'm wide awake. I'm still like playing on my phone and smoking my cigarette. So I don't think it was sleep paralysis. But for some reason, I like cover up. I'm cold, so I cover up my head with the blanket. And then I feel the blankets pull and like the bed sink down, like something has sat next to me. And then the bed starts freaking shaking. And I freak out. So either it was sleep paralysis and I was just barely falling asleep, or it was a seizure. Or it was a ghost. I mean, well, I doubt it, but
I don't know. With the lights off, the viewers might not be able to just spot every letter if we get a letter. So we'll have to look and
say them out loud.
Yeah, we'll call stuff out as we do it. But
So we need to get in the mindset. Ghosts are real. They're a thing.
Yeah, so it has to start in the G spot.
Who did that? Whose idea was this?
It didn't say G spot. It's a G location.
It doesn't matter.
But you always start in the G spot, right? So there we go. We're at G, and then I'm gonna lightly place my finger on it.
I think we should try and summon the spirit from Kyle.
Not here. Let's do that.
Yeah,
at
let's
Kyle.
call it here.
Are we going to Kyle tomorrow?
Tonight?
Tonight? I don't want to go tonight.
Oh my God.
I'll go tomorrow.
Fine.
I don't have any of the equipment or anything charged up.
Whatever.
But I'll totally buy a Ouija board tomorrow during the day, like a big one, and we'll take it out there.
Fine.
And we can live stream that.
Fine.
You guys should throw up thumbs up and smiley faces and stuff if you want us to actually go out to Kyle and try to do a Ouija session out there.
Your mom, Julie asked, doesn't acrylic build up a static charge with friction?
Yeah, I don't know that this is acrylic though. I think it's resin.
I don't know.
It's like there's this like I actually might file this down, but there's kind of a sharp edge where they've poured it. I think she took and she printed the graphic off and puts it like in a tray and fills it up.
Are you in the right mindset? Do you believe in ghosts, Bradley?
Shh, everybody be quiet, man.
Stop being a dork. The ghosts aren't going to like you.
They already don't. All right, we're gonna be quiet for just a minute because I'm really gonna give it our all.
I'm trying to remember a time in which I was freaked out by like ghost stuff.
Okay, so I'm supposed to ask the questions, right? Are there any spirits here that would like to communicate with us? I think I might be applying too much pressure. How long are we supposed to wait?
I don't know. Didn't you read the instructions? Sorry.
Are you offended that Sarah is laughing at you? Oh wait, we're supposed to invite stuff.
Yeah,
and all
you
that
gotta be
first.
like-
we got to open it
Okay,
up.
okay.
We're already. You don't just start with a question.
Yeah, okay.
That's like just walking into somebody's house and be like, "Hey, bitch, what's for dinner?" All right, let's So my name is Ashton, and this is Sarah,
Your name's not Ashton.
and we are paranormal investigators, and we are inviting any spirits from any realms to come and communicate with us because we are looking for proof of the life after death.
Or any paranormal.
We would like to communicate with you, and we openly invite you to use our bodies and our energy and any energy from the equipment in this room to move the planchette, to spell out your answers. Are there any spirits in the room that would like to communicate with us? Can you make this planchette move at all?
Maybe you're applying too much pressure. Just barely touch it.
Pick your arm up off the table. Maybe it won't move if your arm's on the table like we're supposed to do this. Because I think at some point, like, your brain gets tired and you, like, move it right.
Okay.
So maybe that's part of it. When did you die? Are you moving it?
No.
Like, I feel it, like, it feels like you're pulling it a little.
I'm also using my... Maybe I should switch hands.
Maybe you should switch hands.
Okay.
Maybe if we use opposite hands.
Well, and that arm gets tired a lot faster than the other one.
Okay. I bet you can put your elbow down like that. I just wouldn't rest, like, my whole... Could you tell us your name, Mr. Ghost? Is it boring in the afterlife? Is Sarah jacking with me right now by pushing it towards me?
It feels like you're moving it, but I wonder if as you're...
I could be,
But-
but I'm not trying to.
I wonder as... It's almost like you're making little movements away from me, and as you do, I compensate and make movements towards you. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Like, as I kind of do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really easy to kind of push it without any force. Like, instruction number 4 was not to tell it to ask for proof or whatever, but...
You want me to play medium?
Yeah, you should be the medium. I have no idea what's going on.
But, well, now my mind went blank.
See? It's not so easy, is it?
I'm going to ask for proof. If there's spirit in this room, could you give us some proof? Make the candles burn a little brighter. Move the blanket. Do something. Stop it, Brad.
I'm not doing it. I promise. If I am, it's not intentional.
Well, it's obviously confused because it's going entirely off the board. Do you speak English?
Like, it feels like it wants to move this way. Like, how do I know it wants to move and I'm not keeping it from moving, trying not to move it?
Don't try not to move it. Look, I'm just barely... Look, this is how much pressure I'm putting on it.
Ask it, since you're the medium. Sarah is the medium now, by the way. Mr. Ghost, Sarah is the medium. Please listen to her. She is more friendly than me. Now that I've said that, because we don't want to confuse the ghost.
Okay. What should I ask it?
Can it just move the planchette to the yes position?
Can you move the planchette to the yes position? Can you move it at all? What are we doing wrong here, folks?
See, like, everybody I talk to is like, don't use Ouija boards. They were invented by witches way back in ancient times.
Mattel.
Yeah. Like, I think it was Milton Bradley, actually.
Whatever.
Patented it in, like, 1920. Ooh, this is a patent infringement.
Here, stop. Just you do it.
Just me?
Yeah, just you do it.
Okay, so I'm going to
do like 2 fingers and do it like I was doing it, like really. That way, you know I'm not pushing or pulling on it.
Here's what I'm gonna do. So, having never used a Ouija board, like I get that it's like A through N or where, but I'm not familiar with the positions at all. Right?
Maybe they should make it like a QWERTY keyboard, like.
Right. Well,
because maybe it's a ghost from the modern age and it's really confused right now.
Yeah. So here's the
Use
deal.
your home row keys.
I'm gonna keep my eyes completely closed while I use this.
Liz says the old boards were much bigger and the planchette was 3 or 4 times bigger. Yeah, the ones I've used, the planchette's huge.
Yeah, this was a gift. I had no idea what size it was.
I don't think it should make a difference. I mean, technically, I think too, if you're gonna have more people doing it, you need a bigger planchette.
Right. Well, I mean, we'll end up getting a bigger one, and you know, I want to get like you know what I really want to do? I mean, we hit up the antique shop the other day. I'd like to find an antique one that maybe has an attachment or something.
Like some sort of history, yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. Like, I'd hate to go on eBay and look up haunted.
Okay, well, here's what we need to do right now. We need to pause this podcast. We need to go to a cemetery, and we need to jack something, and we need to bring it back here and put it on the Ouija board. You think I'm joking?
No, we're not pausing the podcast. But if any...
We'll totally do that, but we're not pausing the podcast.
If anybody out there watching, you know, live or in future land actually has a Ouija board they want to get rid of because it has some kind of attachment, or actually any object at all has some kind of attachment, and you want to get rid of it, we just take them.
Or if you want to throw us a haunted item.
Absolutely. I want in Charlene has actually offered to let us borrow some. It's just the shipping overseas is it's a little, and she's got some stuff that's like kind of fragile.
Well, I'm gonna bring something home from Kyle next time we go. You can't tell me what to do.
Okay, so I start in the G spot, right? All right, now I'm gonna do this totally with my eyes closed, so I'm not gonna know. And plus the whole board's upside down for me.
Okay, I'll watch it and I'll ask them questions. Okay, so there's any.
I think since I'm doing it, you tell me what to ask, and okay. I have to ask it out loud.
I was gonna say basically if there's any spirits here.
Okay.
Can you move?
So do I need to open again?
That's what I was just gonna say. If there's any spirits here, could you move it to the yes position?
If there's any spirits here, I'm now using the Ouija board by myself. It's my first time.
He's a little nervous.
I've totally invited you to use my energies to move this planchette on the board to give us answers. So if there's anything out there that wants to make contact with me, this is the best way to do it now, to prove to me that this Ouija board is not bullcrap. Is there anything here that would like to communicate with me? Was there anything here the night before when Sarah fell asleep in the other room?
Ask it if there's a ghost that lives in your bathroom.
Is there any type of spirit or entity that resides in my master bathroom? Because it always seems like I don't like leaving that door open at night. It kind of creeps me out. Are you? You're such a jerk.
Sorry.
You're so stupid.
Your eyes were closed.
I thought that felt weird. I was like, "There's no way." It's such horse shit.
Okay, no, seriously.
So, Mr. Ghost, do you know what the idometer effect is?
If there's people that are watching that have used Ouija boards,
Right.
is there something we aren't doing that we
Or
should be?
probably not taking it seriously. It's real hard. And we're doing a podcast. There's a lot of distractions.
And even if I am taking it seriously, I am gonna giggle. Like I can't suppress that. It's
Yeah. No, I'm totally down for doing a real session sometime. It's going to be hard in this kind of setting. Like I'm definitely all for the idea of trying to do it at Kyle, maybe like tomorrow night or something like that.
I'm not sure if I can sit in Kyle with my eyes closed. Is the other?
Well, maybe somebody will keep a lookout while one person's actually
Because that just sounds like a damn good way to get eaten by a freaking pack of coyotes.
Probably. But I mean, somebody's got to film it. So we'll set you need to set it in your lap while you're sitting on the sarcophagus one, or what do you call that raised up grave, and you can sit there with your eyes closed. We can get a couple of candles out, and you can.
Or I could walk through the Stargate and do it there.
I wouldn't do it back there.
I would.
Where are you gonna? It's just you're gonna have a hard time.
I'm gonna be fucking terrified, and isn't that gonna lend itself better to getting some sort of response?
Possibly.
Because that place is terrifying through that gate. I could sit right in the gate and do this.
I don't know, but I get why this. Even if I thought it was real, I get why this wouldn't work the first time, because I mean this is a pretty hard setting for it. But I don't know how much we've actually talked about the idometer effect on.
You told me what it
show.
means so many times, and I can't ever remember.
So it's almost like muscle memory, but
It's the little movements.
Right, and it actually happens all the time, not just in Ouija board. But this is the only instance where it would like spell something out. But basically, it's not you it's you are talking to something, but you're talking to your own subconscious.
Well, and have you seen other people that do that? Like they'll start out and they'll do this with it,
right,
before they do it,
like auto writing.
Yeah, so they'll start doing this, and then I wonder if they don't end up. So let's give it one more go.
I've heard doing a figure 8 sort of motion with it.
Okay, so I'll do that by myself.
Okay.
So if there's any spirits here, this is the last song I'm gonna try this because I don't think this works. So show me something. Show me something, ghosts. So how long should I do the figure 8 thing before
I think you just need to get it to where it's an idle effect where you're constantly doing it.
And then what?
Just get it towards a nice, smooth motion. Kind of zen yourself out. Open yourself up. Is there anything here that would like to communicate to Sarah?
Should I stop now?
Yeah, probably. Do you like the movie Ouija Board?
Stop it, Brad. You're messing it up, Brad.
No, I'm pretty sure it's not me. I'm pretty sure it's you. All right, we're going to close this session out so that we don't...
No, leave it open.
What? No. If there's anything here that's been latently, just trolling, goodbye.
I think we should mock it. I think we should try mocking.
We don't need a Ouija board to do that. If there's anything here, you suck balls. How about that? Can you move the planchette on your own without us touching it?
Stop being a wuss. Just stabs me. Well, now you have no planchette. Good job.
Oh, that sucks. But I mean, everyone that there's so many art. If you bring up a Ouija board in, any kind of like discussion group or any of the events, the room's immediately split down the middle between people that are like, no, never use one, and then people are like, oh no, it's cool. It is, it's whatever.
There's people that believe in it that won't touch it. There's people that believe in them that use them, and then there's people that think they're bullshit.
Right.
There's 3 different,
3 camps, right? And the people that believe in it that won't touch it, those are inevitably the people that I find are it's from ancient like times, blah blah blah.
Oh, with their lies.
Well, I think it's just I think they're just uneducated about the actual history of the Ouija board, but
Well, and for all we know, they did use some form.
They did, but they used to do scrying, which would be with crystals, with bowls of water, things like that. The spirit boards were not used until the Victorian era, and they weren't called spirit board; they were just called Ouija boards. And
So, what's something else people do in seances to non Ouija board
hold hands, burn candles, everybody concentrates.
And then what's supposed to happen?
I guess you're supposed to channel the energy of the spirit, and then it's the voice is usually supposed to come through some kind of medium.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If there's a ghost here, go ahead and possess me. Make me say something in another language. Let me speak in tongues. Go ahead.
I think we got to sit here and concentrate for a little bit. So we're supposed to just take in the candles a little bit. All right. So just breathe in, breathe out, just relax. We are opening our minds to the spirits, to whatever is on the other side. We want you to come through and communicate with us. Use Sarah as your conduit to speak. If there's something here that would like to communicate, please tell us your name.
Trevor. His name is Trevor.
Oh my God, you're so stupid. Well, I don't think we're gonna get us. We're way too silly for this.
I don't think it would work anyway.
It works for other people. Other
No.
people think it works. Why won't it work for me?
It doesn't work for anyone.
I think just because we didn't get it to work, it doesn't mean it's totally. But
I might be
that's not my proof of why it's. But I mean, I still don't think it works. But my proof isn't that. Oh, I.
Oh
can
no,
get
it
to
won't work for it. But I'm up in the air about some paranormal things. Very few. One of them being cryptids. But
Oh my God.
I think cryptids are a lot more logical than dead people wandering around.
See, in the thing with cryptozoology, right? This is like a totally dumb thing, but cryptozoology makes a lot more sense to me than supernatural, unexplained, because it could be like a species of animal or something that we just haven't discovered.
They act like there's no species of animals that aren't newly discovered.
Yeah, that shit happens every year. It's there are giant squids.
It's unlikely to happen in North America. But in other places, if I was in the Amazon and I saw a fucking Bigfoot, I don't think I'd be startled.
I wonder if you could contact Bigfoot with a Ouija board.
Are they psychic, or Bigfoot's inherently psychic?
You don't know that they're not. That could be one of their powers.
If you're gonna assume cryptids are a real thing, you have to assume they're just a normal animal.
Okay. Well, what about lizard people? Where would lizard people come from?
There are no lizard people.
They're cryptids. You said cryptids are a thing.
No, I said I'm up in the air on a lot of paranormal things. Those are one of the things I find more believable.
Okay. Well,
Mostly because we fucking saw one.
A lizard people? I've
No,
never seen a lizard
Bigfoot.
people.
We saw a Bigfoot.
I've never seen a Bigfoot either.
What was the 7-foot tall monster that we saw?
That was a demon.
No, it wasn't no spirit thing. That was moving limbs and shit. That was there.
What, they can phase in and out of reality? That's not a thing.
No, it saw us and it walked the crap away. It was like jerk offs and it left.
That's not what I got out of that experience in the least bit.
What did you get out of that experience?
I gathered that Kyle's a very scary place to go at night. That's what happened to me. No? That's not what you're getting out of it?
It's a scary place to go at night, but why? Cemeteries aren't scary.
The cemetery part's not scary. The stuff that lives in the cemetery is what's scary.
Like the animals?
The giant thing that lives in the back.
Okay, because I thought you were disputing that there was a giant thing.
No,
that
there's
was
a
in the
giant thing there. I just don't think it's a friggin' Bigfoot.
Then what is it?
It's not Bigfoot. I've met Bigfoot.
I'm calling it a Bigfoot because, for lack of a better term, giant furry creature. Well, we don't know if it was furry.
You don't know anything about its sexual preferences. I don't know that you should just go around calling it a furry.
You know, not all furries have sex. Sometimes they just wear the costume.
Like that one party we went to in Tyler, like when we were trying to get ready for the ghost hunt. And they're like, "Hey, you can't go in that room. They're having a furry party."
Yeah, it was a furry rave. I actually went through the room. It was a furry rave.
That sounds so awesome.
And it was very smelly.
Oh yeah, I bet. But I know. Okay, so, but I just want to, because a lot of people are like, oh, you just don't believe in Ouija boards because you haven't tried them or you can't make them work. And that's not necessarily true. I just don't see any reason that spirits would only communicate through boards like that, or that it would be that deliberate. And I think there's way too much physical evidence to show that you're doing it yourself. Like there's no way for there to be any reliable data because you're basically interfering with the experiment, which goes against everything we do, which, I want to do it again, for fun or what. It's like when we go on our ghost hunts, but we don't take all of our equipment and verify everything. We just do it
for funsies.
For the fun of it. It's not necessarily, but I don't think there's any way to scientifically validate a Ouija board because it's...
Well, you'd have to do it where, like you were talking about the pendulum, where you just leave it alone.
Right.
And, like, put a camera on it and see if something happens.
Right. So, there's a really cool device that Paranologies puts out. And I don't like the majority of their stuff. And not that it's bad equipment or I think it's phony. It doesn't have a lot of scientific value to me. But they have a really cool one where it's like one of the circular Ouija boards or whatever, but the letters like light up, I guess. And I guess that goes to say, I think that's a cool idea, but I really like the one where it's a circular Ouija board and then it has a pendulum that just sits there and you're not supposed to touch it. Like there's not supposed to be any human interaction to it at all.
Yeah, we could set something like that up.
I'd really like to try that. Maybe we could just get, a big piece of cardboard with letters on it, and then maybe get with Elena to get, a legit crystal that's supposed to work or whatever, and hang it from a pendulum, let it go there, and see if we get any kind of results that way. Because I like any experiment we do where it takes out the human factor, the human element, because... Like with this, I think some people are going to sit down and they're going to get results on it, and and they're not purposely manipulating it, but they're still getting that subconscious result because they're touching it. So there's no scientific value in that. But if we got results on one some way without the human interaction element, I would actually retract some of the things I said about it. But you would have to show a couple of things with it. Like you would have to have deliberate answers that weren't just totally random, So it couldn't just be yes, no questions. It would actually have to spell out phonetically some specific answers to things that could be verified. You would have to make sure that there's no like wind in the room, things like that. But that's more my speed, my mode of thinking. But I think if spirits actually do communicate through boards like this, through and that human interaction is what it takes for it to work, it's never going to work with me because anything that would be there is going to know it's not going to be good enough anyway. So why would it? I wouldn't bother with me if I was a spirit, and I've always worried about that in our studies. Is like, am I screwing the whole thing up with skepticism,
Yeah.
or by trying to be objective about it? Which,
Well, that someone said to me once, how can you ghost hunt if you don't believe in ghosts? You're screwing up everything your group's doing.
right, and sometimes I feel that way, but at the same time, I notice we do still get evidence, though. Like, there's still things for us to find, even though we take that approach to it. But I don't know. I think just for it to be, verifiable, you've got to take that human element out of it. You've got to do something different. It can't just be you going. Because, like, even us just going through using EMF detectors, we make our own EMFs, and we're changing the environment.
Yeah.
Taking, measurements of the temperature of the room, we're changing the environment, and that's I see the other groups, they go in there, and they're like, oh, the temperature's going up in here.
Well, of course it is. There's 7 people.
Yeah,
in
no
a
shit,
10 by 10
idiot.
space.
Yeah, and that's just kind of how I feel. Like, people don't really understand what their equipment is actually telling them, and they don't realize the level of contamination that's in their own experiments. Table, put letters on it and a pendulum. Yeah. Okay, so just what we were talking about a minute ago. Maybe I'll just make like a little folding table that's, just set up for that with like a little camera on it.
Yeah.
And then we can just sit there and ask questions to it or whatever. But I kind of like this concept that we came up with. Like, okay, we'll try the Ouija board or whatever. But I feel like we should do podcasts where we like try to use like a piece of equipment or something like that and see if we can get some kind of result. But I want to try this again with the bigger one where we're more comfortable when we sit around. And then maybe we'll get like some trinkets, like it said, and put around.
And I also want to do the thing where we record people who believe in Ouija boards and see what responses they get as opposed to what we get.
That is true. That would be, it'd be a really cool experiment. Take 2 groups of people. They can both believe in Ouija boards, whatever. They can contaminate, but put them in side-by-side rooms. And have 2 sessions going on at the same time. Give them
a list of
right. They don't have to ask them in the same order, the same time frame, or whatever. But have them in the separate rooms, and they have the same key questions that they need to ask, and see how the answers differ between the 2 groups. That would actually be a really cool experiment. Now that I'm thinking about it. And that would be something we can set up relatively soon. That's not something where we need a huge budget for. 2 $20 Ouija boards. Call up, just find out, if anybody wants to volunteer for that experiment, drop me a line. Because I'd like to monitor 2 groups doing that.
We need people that believe in this stuff because we have plenty of people who don't.
Right, yeah, that's the thing, yeah.
Our group is consistent solely of people who do not believe in Ouija boards.
Right, which is a good thing. And I think we've shifted to the point in our group where we're no longer trying to make things happen. We're trying to observe how things interact with other people at this point. Because stuff doesn't really interact with us that much. I don't know. I still feel like we get pretty good EVPs.
I don't know. The EVPs sure do seem to like to say my name. Right,
but I don't know. Like I would really like to see somebody. I would like to observe somebody else interacting. It is like a third party, and be taking measurements of that. In that
that's what I really
like.
My dad talking about wanting to go to Kyle and a few other people. I would like to take a group of people out there and just watch them.
I think it'd be interesting to put your dad on a Ouija board, but I don't think he'd do it.
He doesn't. I think he would, but I don't think he believes in it at all.
Right. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he considered that witchcraft, though.
I don't think he does, because I think through his disbelief, he doesn't think it's witchcraft because he thinks it's BS.
Right.
Now, I doubt
I'd
you're
like
going
to see Elena do one. Yeah. But she won't touch them. She's like, no, keep it away.
Well, why not? Couldn't she get rid of whatever?
We'd have to ask her. I don't know, but I know she won't. She won't mess with them, and she won't take clients that have messed with them. She's pretty adamant about, she doesn't want to mess with them. But But I don't know. Like I don't think Kristen's a real good. Your dad's not a real good candidate. Allie, maybe she's a little more on that side. But
I'm
I mean,
pretty sure the Ouija board thing I did before, I did with her.
yeah. But I mean, she's more on our side than the other side now. So
She's just like me. She's more prone to getting scared because of mass hysteria.
Aloe's grandma left her Ouija board in her will. Awesome. We'll use it. I'm totally down for that. And Alwie works at Man Made Tattoos. Did you see her new pins? Oh, they're pretty awesome. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's a little Ouija board that says Man Made Tattoos
cool.
on it. It's pretty awesome. I think she's gonna give us a few pins to like hand out or whatever. But yeah, they're the ones that did the artwork on my back, and they actually did the one on Mike's forearm too.
I'm planning on getting a couple there pretty soon.
I might go this weekend actually. I'd like another tattoo. In that, now that I have the funds for it, I might go get the one on my arm, the other alchemy symbol that I'm wanting. Would be pretty cool.
I want tattoos, but I have no money.
If you get an NTParanormal tattoo, I might pay for it.
No.
Aloe says that her grandma's Ouija board freaks her out. Why does it freak you out? So my experience growing up with Ouija boards, and I have this very, very, very vivid memory of right before we moved into our house in Saginaw of her. Hey, you're
Sorry.
You're just disrespecting our unseen paranormal board just right here for everybody to
I
see.
just wanted to spin it like a top.
Oh my god. I love the mood we have set here with our candles
The
and
ambiance.
everything. But my experience is I always remember my mom going over to my I guess she's my great grandma to my great grandma's house, and the clan would all get together and they'd sit around the Ouija board, and they were talking to great grandpa Jack. And I remember right before they were buying the house that we were getting on Mustang Drive in Saginaw, she was asking a bunch of questions about, are we going to get the house? How's that going to work? Things like that. And me and my sister were just like over in the corner playing flashcards or something like that. And I always just remember it being a thing. And I always grew up with stories of, Ouija boards, and my mom's haunted the things that happened at her house or whatever. And as I got a little older, I just kind of decided like, maybe it was like a little embellished or whatever. But my mom stands pretty firmly by, all her stories and all that stuff.
Well, and I grew up in a house where they didn't so much believe in ghosts as they were religious in like very literal Bible beliefs. So they believed demons were a thing.
Yeah.
That was not a weird thing to me growing up.
Well, and even in the time period that we've officially done the ghost hunting and stuff, like I have run the gamut. Like I have adapted what I think, because like when we first started, I was like, oh, this is a fucking thing because this happened. Then I was like, this isn't a thing at all. I don't believe it. But now it's a little bit later, and I kind of feel the experience more.
That's weird,
the experience is a very real thing, but I don't necessarily think it's ghosties or whatever.
Yeah, because like when I was under 20, I definitely thought there were
me too.
Paranormal
And the thing is I never had, and I keep saying like I never had anything paranormal happen to me. So, but I did believe in it up to that point. I just never really had like an experience. And it's mostly just that conditioning. Like I just kind of grew up with it, so it was just kind of something that was always there.
But then,
like
you through ghost hunting, I kind of lost that belief. And then there's been a couple of experiences we've had that haven't made me change my mind, but they've made me go,
Right. It's ghost hunting.
Well, that is interesting.
Ghost hunting hasn't completely disproved it for me. But it has whitewashed a lot of those experiences. Like I see experiences for what they are now, but mostly what it's done is it's been these little pockets of experiences where there's still an open question in my mind. So most things I have kind of an answer for, and I don't think the experience is fake or anything like that, or people are full of whereas before, in the beginning, in the stuff we found out, I would be more prone to say people are full of BS.
Yeah.
But now
I think they fully believe it.
Yeah, I don't think hardly anybody is full of BS. Even the most wackiest people we've talked to.
Straight up lying.
Yeah, I don't think any of them have the intent of being deceitful, or they're just making up stories. But I do think they're misunderstanding a lot of stuff. Are you looking at some of the comments? We're booked this weekend. Next weekend we're open for book. Well, screw you. I'll just do my own tattoos. No. Megan says I used to live on Mustang, and said we might have been. Oh, yeah, we were. You lived right behind me, actually. I know her. She just doesn't remember me. Allie says I can't remember why it scares me. Well, that's always a good start to it. I'm just scared of it, but I don't remember why. So she's been traumatized by this thing. She has PTSD. She used it a lot when I was little, and now that it's mine, we have it up in a box in storage, and somehow the planchette ended up on my coffee table, and no matter where I hide it, it keeps showing back up. Maybe the kids are fucking with me, but I don't know.
I don't know. That scared me too.
That is awesome. We'll borrow it and use it. Like I'll take good care of it. It'll stay here. That won't be the one we take to the graveyard, but I will totally use that. Haunted planchette. That sounds awesome. I love any story where somebody's like, well, we put this up and it keeps showing up. Wasn't there a toy in your house?
The Music Friend.
Music Friend?
It was Music Friend, but Caitlin couldn't say it, so she called it her Music Friend. And this thing, we used it to say bad words.
Didn't it do like the Annabelle thing for a while or something?
Well, it would disappear and then show back up. But at one point, I threw it away because it was creeping me out because it kept showing up in my room. So I threw it in the garbage. I came in the next day and it's back in my house all busted.
What did it do? Like
nothing.
Like what was its function though?
Oh, it had like little. It was like a centipede. It was a big green like centipede looking thing.
Like a human centipede?
No, like a centipede. And it had like the letters on it that were different colors, so it had different functions. Like you could do the color when they were really little. Then they got older, it would do like little songs for the letters. And it, we'd use it to spell cuss words, and it wouldn't spell out the cuss words. It wouldn't let you do the last letter. It would just like giggle at you because it knew what you were trying to do. Someone programmed that so that it wouldn't do cuss words.
I always wanted a Teddy Ruxpin. I never got one.
I don't know what a Teddy Ruxpin is.
What the hell?
Is it just like a teddy bear?
It's a teddy bear. You seriously don't know what Teddy Ruxpin is? Okay, Jesus Christ. So I need to look this up because this ruined many childhoods.
Oh, why?
Show and tell. Show and tell time. Another teddy bear? That's it.
Hold on. Okay, this needs to happen. So here's a 1980s Teddy Ruxpin commercial. This is like the most evil thing in America.
Teddy bear? My teddy's name is Teddy Ruxpin. He talks, he tells stories, he...
Full batteries not included.
Hi,
Oh.
my name is Teddy.
Oh, no.
Can you and I be friends?
No.
It's a cult.
I would like
Teddy Ruxpin, the storytelling bear, comes with illustrated book and cassette from Worlds of Wonder.
No thanks, sir.
Oh, kids react to 80s toys. I always wanted one of those, and I feel like if I had, hold on a second. I don't know if the audio for that's coming through on the feed.
Well, turn it off, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how. My bad. Okay, so I always felt like if I had kids, I would get a Teddy Ruxpin, but I I would record like me.
Julie says you didn't have one because she thought they were creepy.
That is true. It's not evil. He's cute.
No, he's not. You're wrong.
Until I record like "Feed the devil and burn with me," like just over and over on a.
We should do that to
tape.
Andrew.
That would be awesome.
Let's get a Teddy Ruxpin, put it under his pillow, and record creepy stuff.
Who did I do? I did something like that once. I just I had the Talkboy tape recorder. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Where you could like slow down your
Home
voice.
Alone.
So what I did is I went through like the first like 15, 20 minutes of tape, just left it blank, and then I recorded like I was like, "I'm going to swallow your soul" or something on there, and then I'd like leave it in my sister's room. Like I'd wait till I knew she was gonna like go in there, and I'd hit play, but I would like just leave it in a random place in there, and she'd just be chilling in the room. Things are going on. And just, what the hell? That was, I don't know. I thought it was funny
Your
when I
poor
was a kid.
sister.
Screw her. She had it coming. She's a horrible person. It looks like a Care Bear. I put in my mom's Alice Cooper tape, and it sang to me. You didn't get a Furby for the same reason.
Furbies are creepy, dude.
That's not why I didn't get a Furby. I was too old for Furbies when Furbies came out.
You were?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, Furbies came out when I was like 17
You're
or
not
18.
that much older than me.
Well, Furbies came out when I didn't give a crap.
Wow.
Now, I did have a Tamagotchi.
I had a
Dude,
Gigapet. I had a Gigapet.
Yeah, we just kept feeding it and feeding it and feeding it so it'd get like fatter and
I would be
fatter and
super
fatter.
into mine and do everything right. Then a weekend, I'd be like, screw this. And I'd just throw it somewhere and it would die. And that's why I wasn't allowed to have my own pets.
I remember there was, in like, if you didn't change it or whatever, just
Mm-hmm.
crap everywhere. I remember it'd have like flies all around it. It was horrible. I probably still have some Tamagotchis laying around somewhere. I don't know. We need a ghost Tamagotchi. We need like a pet ghost mascot for our group, I feel like. And then we need to neglect it so it gets evil.
Didn't we already have a goat?
I don't know what happened to the goat.
Pretty sure the goat died.
Well, that's what happens when you neglect it. They don't get evil, they get dead. Okay, so I guess the main plan for the Ouija board session is we're gonna get a bigger Ouija board, an adult Ouija board, because this one is mostly decorative. We do appreciate it though, and we're going to do a more enhanced Ouija session with trinkets and things. You want to try one more time? See if we get a response.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's get this set back up.
Now that we've talked smack for 30 minutes.
I believe there's enough energy in the room now. Is that the G spot?
Yep.
Okay.
I think.
All right, we're gonna give all the board all the energy we can. So I'm gonna put one hand here like this, right? Okay, I'll do opposite. All right. Oh, spirits of the room. This is your last chance to communicate with us. We're trying to talk to the other side. If there are any spirits here that want to communicate with us, make your presence known by spelling out your name. Said we shouldn't ask about our future, but I want to ask, if we take a Ouija board out to Kyle, is there something there that will communicate with us? I think that's us moving it.
Yeah, I'm watching it because I thought you were.
It's like it feels like it's twisting really slowly. I mean, it might be me moving it, but it's not intentional. Is Kyle a dangerous place?
Now you're definitely moving it.
To where? It's not going anywhere. That's you.
Sorry.
Are we welcome at Kyle Cemetery?
Welcome to get eaten.
How many spirits are at Kyle?
I don't know what makes us think whatever ghost is up here we know.
Do you know anything about the Kyle? Goodbye. Just to be sure, because I want to be able to sleep at night. So do you want to go? Do you want to try going out there tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Okay. So anybody that's listening, it looks like we're gonna try to plan a trip out to Kyle Cemetery tomorrow. Now, historically, we've had problems streaming from there. I think I got it to work one time, so we will try to live stream from there. You have AT&T. Do you get service with them out there?
Yes. I believe so.
Okay, so I have I'll charge up the wireless hub or whatever. I think tomorrow night, let's say 10 o'clock. You want to do it late?
10's fine by me.
Okay, so sometime we'll probably head that way about 9:45, 10.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get out there and start streaming around like 11. So that'll be a late one, guys. But we'll actually try to do I don't want to do you know what? I want to take it back to basics. I don't want to do a hardcore science.
I really do think we should take the thermal though.
We'll take the thermal.
But that to me is just a precaution because we
Right.
do, especially this time of year, we get a lot of wild animals out there.
Okay. I don't want to set every
And my
single thing
shotgun.
up and get everything going. I just want to go out there with like a
Camera,
camera
EVP.
recorder, and
I don't think we need an EMF. I think it's useless.
and we'll take the thermal out there, and then sometime during the day tomorrow, I'm gonna get us a Ouija board,
Okay.
and we'll see how that goes. And then I guess we'll call up Kristen and Allie and possibly your dad, and see who's available.
Okay.
But if nothing else, me and you will go out there, and we will try a serious Ouija board session out there tomorrow and see how that goes. Should be interesting. I'll bet I'll be kind of jumpy about it too because we haven't actually gone to an active location.
And
in a while.
honestly, occasionally we drive up there and it just has a bad feel about it and we leave because I'm a big believer in instinct and I'm not sure if it's something paranormal that's turning us off, but occasionally we do drive up and we're like, no, not tonight.
I think only twice have we ever just completely just left, like pulled up and went.
And that's
Nope, not
always been
happening.
when it's been just me and you.
Right. I wonder if we're not just wigging ourselves out though.
We might be, and once again, I think too because we have had stuff out there that the whole fight or flight thing kicks in, and I think sometimes we can't fight it.
We're also, and while everybody in our group has had experiences there, we're the only ones that have had like up close experience, like loud
in your fucking face.
Right, like, oh, hey, there's a shadow right there, or
Hey,
there's
something about to maul us.
Yeah, running at us, or like straight, like hearing voices while we're out there. We're the only ones that have had that like level of experience, and I wonder why. Because we're not more open than the rest of our group or anything like that. We're the same level, but for whatever reason, we get picked on.
Which is why I want to go just me and you, but I did promise my dad that the next time we...
Well, he's only been out there during the daytime, I think.
No, he went out there the one night we did the interview for the...
but we were basically giving a tour that night.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't even a good investigation.
But also, it tends not to be as scary when there's someone new out there.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, it'd be interesting if Don's available tomorrow. I would really like him to get some pictures with his camera using the better shutter settings in that dark environment to maybe highlight some of the stuff that maybe we're seeing while we're out there in the dark that might fix it. And I really want him to set up, like, you know, the pictures of the bridge he took at night where it looks like daytime. I want him to set up and take a picture out the gate like that at night, but with the light exposure.
Well, he had to do that through light. He did that through the light tool too.
Right. Well, yeah, but you don't do the photography. A lot of that's the A lot of
Well, yeah,
that's
I'm
the
just
type
saying
of
he's
camera
probably going to end up
using.
needing to edit it before we see it.
Right, I know, but I want him to do that, and I think it would be really interesting if he took that type of picture with that type of camera, not like what we normally take at night over there. It'd be really cool if something showed up in that.
If nothing else, it would be a good picture for our, pictures.
Absolutely. Yeah, you think he's available? Do you know?
I can text him.
I don't know. We'll have to check with him, but
If not, we're still going, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we'll still go. I'll make sure we got 2 handheld recorders. I'll make sure I have the live stream camera and the Wi-Fi ready to go, and then I'll just get 1 extra handheld recorder.
And just for extra experiment, I should listen to creepypastas all day and rile myself up.
Oh my god, I hate going out there. Oh no, you talked me into this. So
Don't be a chicken shit.
it's a horrible idea. This is the one place I don't like going back to. Like, we've gone to a bunch of different places, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, it's cool.
I don't actually like it either. There's just something about it.
You're such a jerk when we go out there, too. You're a jerk to me. You're like, you need to go in. Quit being a wimp. Do it. And the one time I did that, I was a horrible person. Remember?
It wasn't that you were a horrible person. It's just it was out of character. Hello, Deborah.
Hey, Deborah, we're actually getting ready to wrap up
Yeah,
because this was kind of a bust session.
But just for the record, it wasn't how you were acting. It's because it was very different from your normal character.
I was trying to fit in and be a part of the group. I just wanted to be
And
accepted.
both times you haven't wanted to go in. I haven't made you go in.
Oh, well, aren't you an effing saint?
No, but I'm not.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's Queen Sarah is the leader of NTParanormal now because she didn't make me go in. Because she didn't make me go in the one time I was scared.
The one time.
There was only the 5 times. 20 times. Okay, well, so back to this. So that was our first Ouija board session, which I wouldn't call it a total bust just because it didn't work.
It was fun.
It was interesting, and it was last minute. And because we skipped a podcast because Facebook was being a pain in the butt. So we're gonna reschedule the interview with Kelly McCormick, and then we still got to get Elena in here to do the readings for everybody. And I think that would be interesting. And I think while she's here doing readings,
We should just bring the Ouija
I should
board
just
out.
bring the Ouija board in, and
Just
she'll
try and
have
touch it to her.
like she'll have to do the readings on top of the Ouija board. It's just gonna piss her off. I quit. Fuck this. She would too. She'd just get up and
Yeah,
walk
she would
out.
just leave. You probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. That's how we're gonna end that podcast. Is we're just gonna make Rose do readings on top of a Ouija board while I ask asinine questions. So those are gonna be to be determined. Those are coming up. But I'm done setting specific dates for specific episodes because we never end up doing. And I mean, we still have the debate to figure out when that's going to happen. But
work schedules and illness.
Our group's schedules are so just like fluid all the time. We never know what episode we're going to do anymore. So from now on, we're gonna go back. We're doing episodes on Thursdays as long as the internet works. That's the only thing that kept us from doing it last Thursday. But I'm not going to announce what the topic is until we're actually doing the episode. It just seems to work out better that way.
Yeah.
And then, we'll try to do some more of these like impromptu ones because like I just got this in the mail today and then I was like, okay, that's our episode today. So, but yeah, tune in to our page tomorrow. We'll be live streaming from probably our most, would you call that our most active location? Like, really?
I mean, yeah, but we also have a broader experience there than anywhere else.
Right. I mean,
It's the one, how about this? It's the one location that scares all of us.
That is true. And I don't necessarily think it's more active than some of the other locations we've been to, but it's definitely
It's got a feel about it.
yeah, it definitely puts me on edge. And it always sounds like we believe every single thing that happens there. We've disproved a lot of
We're
stuff
also
there.
admitting that a lot of that is us being scared, and a lot of
Right.
it is nature.
But there is a lot of stuff out there that has been there's a lot of stuff out there we initially didn't think we had documented.
Yeah, and then we did.
And then it turned out, oh, hey, there's actually more to that than we thought.
It's also the place where the weirdest things, like, it's never just, oh, I thought I saw a ghost. It's always some crazy bullshit story that no one
yeah,
believes.
of all the things out there, I've never thought I saw a ghost. It's weird. It's not human. It's not animal. You know, the thing I saw. I guess the closest thing to a ghost we saw would be like the shadow doppelganger sort of thing.
Oh, the shadow Brad?
Yeah. And it's really weird because now we're starting to run into other people that have been
gone out there,
that have been
and
out
none
there.
of them will go back.
And we're the only ones that'll go back, so we win. That's how you win.
Ghost hunting?
Gozies backsies. But yeah, and when's the last time we went out there? It's actually been a while.
It's been a while, and I don't know what it is about that place, but it scares me. And I'm not even particularly, I don't think there's anything particularly out there. There's just something about it.
I don't know. I just, and it's so weird because it's a place where we're just like, whatever.
Wait, turns out this is an Indian burial ground.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you took us out there, and even when I mentioned, like, when we were going through it, walking around, I'm like, hey, we should do an episode out here. You're like, but there's nothing out here.
Yeah, because I've been out there a bunch of times when I was a teenager, but I'd never been out there past dark. And it's also interesting because that's where my brother-in-law had this story, because I didn't know him and his friends used to party out there.
Right.
And that's what I said, oh, I thought I saw something out there. And he said, what did its legs look like? And then he was like, hey, this arm came out of a tree and it was just Snow White. It was weird. And I'm like, that's...
You know, my friend James is in town too. We might see what he's doing tomorrow night because he feels he's a sensitive person.
I'm not sure if we should take it, since I'm not sure if that would be good for their freaking mental health.
I thought we didn't believe in that sort of thing.
But if they feel they are...
I don't know. You think it's like sensory overload or something?
Well, I mean, there are people that have...
They just start talking backwards Latin and...
Well, I just think if you believe you're sensitive, wouldn't it still affect you even if it's not real?
Ashley wants to know what Shadow Brad is.
We were out at Kyle, and we had parked our car. So there's a part where you can drive in. There's a gate like 4 cars in a middle area where there's no graves. And me and Allie were towards the back fence, and you had gone around to your car to get out a piece of equipment. And me and Allie were running EVPs. We were just talking at the back gate.
Well, y'all hadn't actually even realized that I had walked away.
No,
either.
we knew you were at the back of the car.
Okay.
Because you said, I'm going to go get something out of the back of the car. And then we saw you walk from behind the car to our right and go around behind the 3 graves over there.
Right.
And so we said, hey, Brad, what are you doing? And that's when you pipe up from behind the car. Hey, I'm just getting some equipment. And we go, oh, what? No, you're over there.
Right.
But it looked just like you, but it didn't talk.
And that's one of the things I actually got on video. Now, I didn't get the shadow of me or whatever. But what's funny is at the exact same time you guys think you see something to what would have been my right at the time, I start filming something to the left because I see something walk by me the other way that was casting a shadow.
Because the feeling we get out there is that we're being herded, and it's like something will happen over here, and while we're all looking over here, something else will happen over here.
You know, one thing we don't mention too is we mention the herding thing a lot, where we feel uncomfortable if we're all kind of herded together.
And then we feel like we get divided.
Yeah, if you like going to the back of the car while you two are over there never feels like a good idea either.
It's
like you don't
almost
want to wander off on your own.
No, it's almost like we get herded in a direction, and then something will happen where one person has to fall out.
Yeah,
It's a really weird feeling.
It's a really good tactic.
Yeah,
if
I
you
know.
think about it, it's like, oh, herd them all in this direction, then single one out.
And that's
somehow.
why we've come up with this habit where if 2 people are facing one way, someone will always face the other way.
Right.
Because 2 wild animals will use that.
I swear to if we go out there and we hear that running noise again or anything like, I'm not going to be able to handle it at all. It's like the first time that happened was such a surprise, but like I swear if that happens like a second time and it's like the same circumstances, we're booking it. There's no way I'm gonna be able to deal with that.
You can't run because if it is a wild animal, that's a good way to get mauled.
Standing your ground's not really going to work either.
No, but running always works.
And I'm so worried about getting mauled out there because, like, emergency services aren't, like, first off, we have a hard time getting signal out there.
Well, there's 2 grown-ass adults. A mountain lion isn't going to maul us.
Sure.
Take the bear spray.
Sure.
Okay, well, if we bring a third person, I've never heard of a mountain lion attack when there's more than 2 people in a group. Now, mountain lions have attacked 2 people, but never more than that.
Oh, yeah. So we'll just play the odds.
Why not? We have been so far.
I know. I'm just trying to get out of it.
Don't be a pussy, bro.
Okay, so we're going to try to live stream from Kyle tomorrow. And we got some good shows coming up that we have planned. Of course, we'll see how that goes, but we're going to go back to our Thursday schedules. And we wanted to say thank you one more time to, if y'all haven't been by their page, they're friends of us on our board now, but Unseen Paranormal, UNSCENE. But they're actually pretty cool because they do the science bit like we do. I thought it was really cool. I was watching some of their videos. They have lab coats. We need lab coats.
We need lab coats.
But they got like a table set up, and they've been spending a lot of time testing different like phone apps and stuff like that, and showing how they actually work.
Okay, yeah.
They found like a lot of the Echo Vox and stuff like that. It's taking whatever words are said in the room and it repeats it like 5 minutes later.
That's interesting.
So that it's like relevant.
We knew it didn't work, but
yeah, and they're showing how it doesn't work. And so what it is they turn off different features of it. And they'll have like a conversation, and then like 5 minutes later, it will only repeat the words that they have like said or whatever.
That's
so
interesting.
it's sitting there recognizing what they're doing so that it can come up with something kind of relevant.
Well, that makes a lot of sense because we were using that Ovilus the one time, and it was repeaps back questions we had. The answer. It looked like the answer, but it was pulling one word out of the answer.
I absolutely hate word bank apps and
I
tools.
think they're fun. But I don't think they work.
Well, I think that's why people like them, because it's a result. It's a guaranteed result. If you wait long enough, it's going to spit something out. Maybe this isn't a good idea. Give me sizes, guys. We do need lab coats. That's true. I'm a 3X. Sarah's like a 1X.
It depends. If it's boys' clothes, it's a 1X. If it's girls' clothes, it's a large.
I don't know. I can also just buy them on Amazon. But yeah, we do need lab coats. That'd be awesome.
That way, when the mountain lion gets a hold of us, we can just shed our lab coat and run.
Let's see. Other things I'm forgetting. Oh, I've got another article coming up in Paranormal Hauntings magazine.
Oh, cool.
Speaking of phone apps, my next article is actually about that. The big argument I got into, that's making it into the magazine, where I got the 3 letters back from the manufacturers basically saying, no, the phone can't do that.
And I spent last night getting the kids' audio for my story.
Oh, did you see that email I forwarded you? The company that they want us to test their phone app? I thought it was hilarious. I was like, they're like, yeah, we found your page online and we like your videos and stuff. And we have this really, they're based out of Norway, I think. And they're like, yeah, our app's getting really good reviews, but it does EVPs, pictures, and EMF. And they're like, oh, we want you to try it. You know, it uses the accelerometer to get real-time EMF readings, blah, 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 blah. I really just wanted to send them back a link to my article about how phones can't accurately do EMF because it does ferrous magnetism, not electromagnetism, which are 2 different things. But yeah, that article's coming up in the next issue, which I'm not sure when that one's coming out. But we need to edit your next episode of the
Well, I've got all the voice
Dimension
stuff for the
134A.
next recorded one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna work on that a little bit this weekend. Get that ready for you, so you can splice in bits and stuff like that.
And I've gotten the next one written. You need to edit, and then we need to write the next one.
Right. Okay. So that's an hour 30 that we just killed on Ouija boards and random stuff today. So there's your episode for the week, guys.
I happen to like the random stuff episodes.
I like random stuff episodes, and I like doing it by candlelight. Actually, this is nice.
But all roads lead back to Kyle.
Oh my god,
we've got to fucking sort that one out. I cannot let it go. I can't let it go until we figure it out.
All right. Well, we're gonna figure it out tomorrow night.
Okay.
Tomorrow night is when we're gonna figure it out with no equipment. Just the basic.
Oh, just the basic. I was just saying, we can't go out there with no equipment because then something will happen. And we
oh
will
my
not
god!
record
And
it.
as many times as we talked about that stupid place, and as much evidence as we've got out there with our equipment, the worst things have happened when there's no camera rolling.
My weirdest episode there, all I had was a flashlight.
Yeah. What? Yes. No.
Yeah, the one time when I walked through the back gate by myself.
Oh yeah.
All I had was a flashlight.
Yeah,
we didn't
were
have
just
any cameras.
We were just out there scouting. But yeah, okay. So we'll go out there. We'll try to make a mini episode happen. So see you guys tomorrow night, hopefully live.
And Julie wants to go. I want to take you. We're not going to take you this time, but I am planning on taking a couple people out there. Pretty soon, but we were gonna wait till winter because I get really sick if I spend too much time in the heat.
It's hot out there, and it's such a long drive too.
Yeah, but I was thinking in a couple months, I was thinking about taking 2 people out there I know who really want to go. So
okay,
and I wasn't gonna particularly make it a ghost hunt. Take like an EVP. That's it.
I mean, we just try not to. Why'd you bring this up on the podcast? I try not to.
We don't ever take people on things. But it's going to be my thing, not yours.
Okay.
I'm just going to take some people out there.
Now, those of you wanting to do an actual investigation with us, we are going to be hosting one at A.W. Perry. Yeah, and that's coming up in October, and they are going to let us actually take groups of people through.
Okay.
And we'll talk about our previous experiences that we had there, go over some of our previous evidence, and then try to get new evidence.
If you don't like creepy screaming dolls, don't come.
Oh, definitely come if you like dolls, because the dolls over there are creepy. But that will be an open investigation, and there's other places I feel like coming up in the future where we will be able to host like some tours and stuff like that. I'm actually kind of in talks with the Granbury Jail Museum, even though we still haven't finished the stupid episode. They might let us take some small groups out there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I know there's another team that does out there, but that might be like a pay one where.
And we can only do small groups. We tried to do a big group thing. It did not work for us. We need it to be 3 or 4 people. That's it.
Right.
Because we just can't handle it.
Yeah. So we might do some like small locations or whatever where we get permission to take.
Yeah.
Like a few extra people through or whatever. So that might be coming up. So if you guys are interested in things like that, that is something we're looking at doing in the future. And we're actually we're ramping up where we're actually looking for new cases. So if you have like a private residence or a place of business or something like that.
Yes, please let us investigate.
Right, yeah. There's a few people I actually need to contact back. But I'm really looking forward to doing some more investigations, like closing out 2018 and going into 2017.
2019?
Yes.
Years go forward.
Yeah, I'm going backwards in time. But man, I don't know. The jail museum thing might end up being a wash as far as making a video for it, because even after going out there and filming the interviews and stuff, like a lot of that footage is all messed up too.
Yeah, because
that place is
everywhere.
cursed. It is cursed as far as making a video. I like investigating there. I like going there. But your dad's interview came out pretty decent. So a lot of the audio was screwed up for no apparent reason, and I took separate audio for that. But just for whatever reason, trying to film out there, trying to make equipment work, it never works, and it's always bad circumstances. So I don't know what the deal is. but we may just go back for a third investigation, talk about the stuff that happened in the first two investigations, throw some of those clips in there, and then then we'll do the interviews during that third investigation while nobody's there.
Yeah.
That may be how I have to do it to make that work. All right, so we're going to stop rambling on for now. So tune in again tomorrow night. Hopefully we'll be able to do it live. If we can't do it live, we'll record what we're doing. Instead of making like an edited episode, we'll just post. We're going to film it like we're doing a normal live thing, and then we'll just post that up. And then, so if we can't do it live, that video, I'll do it as a watch party.
Okay.
So that we can all get in there and actually I figured out how to do it where I can play a video like this and we can talk over it. So what we may do is if we can't do it live, that might be our next podcast. We might just take the footage from it and go over it live.
Okay.
That might be a good I don't know. Throw up your guys' opinions of that, where maybe we have an episode where we're reviewing all our evidence live, going over it, and we can do commentary over it and rewind and like listen closer and things like that. Maybe I can show live some of the stuff that I do to like test frequency for sound and alternate angles and things like that.
Okay.
Might be a good place to start. All right, so everybody have a good night. We're going to close this out.
Thanks everyone for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, you would like to know more about NT Paranormal, please visit us at www.ntparanormal.com or our Facebook page at facebook.com/ntparanormal. You can also check out our book, After Dark Paranormal Investigations, True Cases of the NT Paranormal Team on Amazon.com, or find our articles in Paranormal Hauntings Magazine. Before we go, we would also like to thank our supporters at Paranormal Hauntings Magazine, Paranormal Investigations Equipment, PIE, Ghost House Paranormal,